Hello, and welcome back to another Cricket Daily on the Chris McPherson Show for the 4th of February. And we certainly have plenty to unpack with lots of cricket action happening, some breaking news, and looking ahead to what is to come over the next 24 hours or so in terms of cricket action around the globe. Make sure if you haven't already to hit like on the video. And of course, if you want to stay up to date with all your cricket news, hit subscribe on the channel as well. You can hit the bell icon down below as well. That'll give you notifications each and every time we drop an episode or go live on the Chris McPherson Show. And you can follow us along on social media for all your short sports snippets at the Chris Mac Show on all your favorite platforms: Instagram, TikTok, X, and Facebook. Different content across the 4 different streams. And of course, here at our primary home on YouTube. But let's get into things. Let's start with some recaps. Let's talk the Under-19s World Cup. And unfortunately, Australia's hopes of going back to back in the 19s World Cup are over, and it took a special effort from the English to stop them. England have defeated Australia, booking their place in the Under-19 World Cup final with a 27-run win in a gripping semi-final that came down to the wire in Bulawayo. England chose to bat, and they were eventually steadied by their skipper, Thomas Rue, who walked in at 57 for 2 and delivered a captain's knock, 110 off 120 rocks, packed with 14 fours. His 135-run partnership with Caleb Falconer dragged England out of some early trouble and set the platform for them to get to 277 for 7. And Australia's chase of 278 never quite found the gears and momentum it needed. Opener Nitesh Samuel ground out a steady 47 off 83, chewing up a few extra deliveries than might have favoured the side later on, while captain Ollie held the innings together with a superb century, fighting against a constant flow of wickets. Australia slipped from 134 for 5 to 207 for 8, and it looked all over. But then came one last twist. Peake exploded in the 46th over, smashing 22 runs off Manny Lumsden to suddenly drag Australia back into the contest and give them a sniff of an unlikely heist. Charles Luckman fell next delivery, though, the first delivery of the next over, and with the tail exposed, England slammed the door shut. Peake was, in the end, the final wicket to fall, caught at point, still swinging from the hip, trying to blaze his side to glory. England's players immediately sought him out, shaking hands before celebrating a hard-earned win. We saw 2 captains with 2 centuries, a classic semi-final all in all. But on the night, Rue's 110 trumped Peake's 100, and Australia's title defence comes to an end. Next up for England will be awaiting the winner of tonight's semi-final between India and Afghanistan for a shot at the Under-19s World Cup. Next up, we talk the England and Sri Lanka third T20, and England, they'll head into the World Cup red hot, completing a 3-0 sweep of Sri Lanka with one of their grittiest wins in recent memory. Defending just 129, which is their lowest successful T20 international defence ever, England produced a stunning spin choke of the Sri Lankans on a turning track to win with some room to spare. With the bat, it was all about Sam Curran, England reeling at 60 for 6 before Curran dragged them back into the contest with a career-high match-defining 58 of 48 deliveries. Backed by Liam Dawson's 14 in a crucial 47-run stand, it set a defendable total for the English. Sri Lanka's Dushmantha Chameera was outstanding with the ball with a career-best 5 for 24, decimating England's top order, but Curran's composure proved decisive as England scraped to 128. Then came time for the English bowling masterclass. Will Jacks led the squeeze with 3 for 14, while Adil Rashid and Liam Dawson applied relentless pressure through the middle overs. But the final word belonged to Jacob Bethel with the ball. Bowling his last 8 balls, he tore through the tail with a career-best 11 for 4, sealing the match and the series with the winning wicket. Sri Lanka never recovered, strangled by spin, timing, and discipline. So England will now head to the World Cup with confidence high, knowing they can win on these subcontinental surfaces, and they can do it ugly, tight, and under pressure. Speaking of the World Cup warm-up games overnight, Oman defeated Sri Lanka A, chasing down 146 with 2 overs to spare. Left-arm quick Shai Fazal with 21 for 2 from 4. And off-break bowler Jay Odedra, 18 for 2 from 3 deliveries, were the pick of Oman's bowlers. While with the bat, it was all the headline act of opener Amir Kaleem, who blazed 80 off 47 deliveries to set the platform for wicketkeeper bat Vinayak Shukla steered the side home for Oman with 39 not out from 24 balls. A great win for Oman to get things started. For Zimbabwe, they got things rolling against the Netherlands. An unbeaten 50 not out from 31 rocks for Ryan Boyle, along with starts for a handful of batters, was enough for Zimbabwe to post a solid total of 178 for 9, batting first in Colombo. The Netherlands had managed to strike often to avoid the Zimbabwean side going past 200, headlined by Logan van Beek's 22 for 3 from 3. When it came to the other side of the innings, left-arm quick Richard Garava ensured that the Netherlands were on the back foot, claiming 2 wickets in the first over and finishing with 11 for 3 from 3, as Zimbabwe lent into all their experience to restrict the Netherlands, even having them down to 60 for 6 in the 9th over and all but out of the match. Again, it was Logan van Beek, this time with the bat, batting at 9, who added some respectability with 40 not out from 31 balls, but wickets continued to fall to have the Netherlands all out for 149 and suffering a 29-run loss. It'll be back to the drawing board for the Netherlands. Certainly some positives with Logan van Beek, but they'll need to improve if they want to be competitive at this World Cup. Finally, Nepal, they chased down the United Arab Emirates 145 for 6 to secure momentum building to the World Cup. The UAE were in early trouble at 66 for 5 before a late partnership of 68 between Sohaib Khan with 38 not out and Harshit Kaushik 35 rescued them to post 145 for 6. Sandeep Lamashan was the pick for the Nepalese bowlers with 24 for 2 from his 4 overs. For Nepal, a steady start wasn't convincing until Dipendra Singh Ari with 50 not out from 31 and Arif Sheikh 61 not out from 37 partnered for the 4th wicket, adding an unbeaten 103 to steer their side from a precarious position to victory with 18 balls to spare. Now time to move on to the breaking news, and there's a few pieces here. The first of which is the MCC have revealed their latest law changes for cricket. The first of these is probably the most impactful, and that is the final over of the day's play in multi-day cricket, including potentially in test matches, will not end if there is a wicket. As per the new edition of the laws of cricket, which were announced by the MCC, the over will be completed and a new batter will need to walk in. They talked about the fact that this previous law, where if a wicket fell in the final over, that was the end of the day's play, disadvantages the bowling side and also potentially robs crowd members of potential drama, being the word they used. So we look forward to seeing if that will be implemented in multi-day cricket up to and including test matches or just up to test matches, but we'll wait and see. There are also 2 changes to the hit wicket law. Firstly, the MCC has defined a batter as hit wicket if they fall onto the stumps while attempting to find the balance well after receiving the ball. But they have said that if it's due to an impact of a fielder, an intentional impact of a fielder, then that would be seen to be mitigating the cause and not out. Although, again, they put another exception into that, saying that if it was incidental contact, such as the batsman grazing the wicketkeeper with his bat, then it would still be deemed out. So they've removed some grey, added some more in. I think it's got to a better spot, but nonetheless, a little bit bizarre. So we'll give them a neutral mark on that one. I think a positive on the first one. And this one, I think, will be a positive as well for the third. The ball no longer has to be in the bowler's or wicketkeeper's hand to be finally settled and declared dead. It can be in the hands of any fielder or stationary on the ground. This allows umpires the freedom to make reasonable decisions on when the ball is dead, even if one fielder or one batter is still attempting to play on. So there we go. The updates from the MCC. The other bits of breaking news relate to T20 franchise cricket. And the first talks about Steve Smith, who will participate in the PSL this year for the first time. Sialkot Stallions, one of the 2 franchises debuting this season, have unveiled Smith as the tournament's first direct signing. We know that Smith hasn't featured for the Aussie T20 side for 2 years, but he will come to the PSL off the back of a big bash season where he helped Sydney Sixers to the title match, where they went down to the Perth Scorchers. He scored nearly 300 runs in the tournament, averaging approximately 60 with a strike rate of nearly 170 with 100 and 250s across his time at the back half of the Big Bash season. So he will add to the Pakistan Super League and the Sialkot Stallions, one of the new sides. And the final piece of news, Ollie Davies will join his brother Joel at the Sydney Sixers in the Big Bash, crossing the city divide there in Sydney, leaving the Sydney Thunder. He signed a 3-year deal with the Sixers as a free agent in the player movement window. He only played 1 game for the Thunder last season. Now we move into the look ahead, and there's a bit of cricket to unpack. The first is the second semi-final in the Under-19s World Cup, India versus Afghanistan. One is chasing history, the other is chasing a historic national first. India and Afghanistan will have a final berth on the line, and the stakes can't be higher. India, unbeaten at this tournament, are aiming for a 10th Under-19s World Cup final appearance, having won the competition 5 times previously. But again, there's no second chances here. It's win or go home. Afghanistan, meanwhile, are on the brink of something unprecedented. They've lost just 1 match all tournament, and a win here would take them to their first ever Under-19 World Cup final and their first ever final at any ICC event. The key battles will decide this game. For India, Vaibhav Suryavanshi looms large. The 14-year-old superstar averaging 39 this tournament and boasting a staggering career youth ODI strike rate of 158. Despite his tender age, remembering he turns 15 in March, this is potentially the last tournament we will see him in action at youth level as he goes on to bigger and better things in professional cricket from here. All-rounder Vian Malhotra brings balance for their side, with 109 not out already in this tournament and 4 for 14 as well on his card. He can do it all with the bat, the ball, and in the field, so keep an eye on Malhotra. For Afghanistan, they'll counter with the tournament star Faisal Shanodzada, 325 runs at 81, including a brilliant 163, and strike bowler Nuristani Omazai, who has 12 wickets at 11.5. 2 players capable of turning a match on their head, absolutely on their own. If they both fire, absolutely anything's possible. It's experience versus ambition, history versus aspirations of a momentous first. Either way, one will go to the World Cup final, one will go home. Can't wait to see who it will be that will take on England in the Under-19s World Cup final. Speaking of World Cups, we've got the World Cup warm-up games coming as well. Remembering all these times, Australian Eastern Daylight Time. We've got 4 matches tonight. 6:30, we'll see Namibia taking on Scotland in Bengaluru. 8:30, Afghanistan versus the West Indies. The West Indies will be looking to bounce back from a disappointing trip to South Africa. Again, that will be in Bengaluru at the Centre of Excellence. At 10:30 in Colombo, it will be Ireland taking on Pakistan. Pakistan fresh off that series win against Australia. Ireland with some good results against Italy and the UAE in the warm-ups. And then the big one for mine, 12:30 in Navi Mumbai, India versus South Africa. 2 of the sides that I have asterisks next to as absolute tournament title chances. They're going to go toe-to-toe. It'll be interesting to see what sort of lineups they roll out for these games and what sort of form they get into their players. I don't think we need to take too much from the results, but little form, trends and lines might be something to read into. And, of course, if that's not enough cricket for you, tomorrow the Sheffield Shield will resume in Australia, the domestic Australian competition. We've got New South Wales and Australia at the New South Wales and South Australia, I should say, at the SCG, Victoria and Queensland at the MCG, and West Australia hosting Tasmania at the Wacker Ground. This will be the start of these players starting to build towards this Bangladesh Test Series in Northern Australia mid-year. It's an opportunity for some players with Aussie representatives out of action over at the T20 World Cup to stake their claims. So we can't wait to see what comes from this and who continues to emerge. But as always, huge thank you for tuning in. Make sure to hit like and subscribe. Get involved in the comments. Let us know who you're looking forward to seeing in these warm-up games, what you're expecting teams to do as we head towards the T20 World Cup, only a few days away. But in the meantime, make sure as well, if you want to keep up to date with your sports shorts, stay tuned to our social media channels at The Chris Mack Show on all your favourite social media platforms. And we'll see you again very, very soon on your home of the black and white of sport. No grey opinions here.